Okay, we'll get through all of them and then I'll give my. Okay, go ahead.
It's always the fuggliest normie man that assumes I'm a witch and that I'd ever waste my energy doing a spell on him. Pack it up, Miss Delusional. Go take a hard look in the mirror.
Fuggliest normie men. Interesting. Okay.
Are men concerned you're doing spells?
I've gotten a comment before.
Do you do spells?
I can neither confirm nor deny, and that's just being real. I think spells, anyone can do a spell without outwardly saying they're doing a spell.
Yeah, what kind of, so what would, if you're casting a spell, what would be a spell that you would cast?
When goddamn love you.
What?
Abundance. An abundance spell. I have an altar. I sit in front of my altar. I light candles. I kind of meditate and manifest abundance.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, you could call that a spell.
But do you ever cast a negative
No, I don't believe in
spell? A dark
casting.
spell or something?
Well, wouldn't all spells be a negative?
No.
Well, you say you cast a spell of abundance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let us assume that you cast a spell for more money. How could you ever receive more money without somehow interfering with the will of other people who ordinarily would not produce whatever the situation would be necessary for you to get that money?
What do you mean by that?
Well, so let's, for instance, pretend that you're in front of your altar and you cast a spell for a bike. Well, unless you believe that the clouds are just going to open up and drop a bike, I assume that you think a bike will come to you through some other mechanism. Somebody still had to build it. They still had to do X, Y, and Z. So if somehow this bike gets to you and it ordinarily would not have gotten to you absent this spell, how would you not be affecting other people's wills?
I'm not affecting other people's wills because it's just a means for me to get closer to what I want. How is that affecting someone else's will?
Well, I just explained it to you. So let us assume for a second you wanted a glass of water that you would not ordinarily get. Mm-hmm. This is why you cast a spell. Your neighbor comes over and he gives you a glass of water, right? He ordinarily would not have given you the glass of water absent the spell, or you wouldn't need the spell. Didn't you affect your neighbor's will?
Maybe he just wanted to give me a glass of water. I don't know.
Well, then why would you need the spell?
Because it's just a spiritual practice.
So it doesn't work?
How do you know, though, that
It does work.
If it does work, then I don't see how you get around the fact that you are affecting people's will.
I don't know how manifesting abundance for myself, which is very vague, honestly, would interfere with someone else's will.
Because I don't know how you would get the abundance, right, in any other way than affecting people's will, I don't see why you would need the spell to begin with. This is the big downfall and pitfall of the logic of magic. It's why out of all religious practices, it makes the least amount of sense, because magicians and witches always say that they practice white magic, the magic of abundance or growing or nurturing. But I don't see how you actually could do that without affecting the will of the things that are around you. I don't even see how that's possible.
how do you know that it's not the will of those things to be affected, though?
So
you know what I mean?
So,
Like,
but here's the thing: if it's the will of those things to be affected, why do you need the spell?
It's not that I need it, it's that I choose.
No, hang on.
No, I mean, like it was the will. But I don't even know if I can make this make sense, but it makes sense in my head.
No, I see what you're saying.
It
You're
was
saying,
the will that she was gonna do the spell to then impact the will. Does that
so it's still
track?
impacting, but it's still impacting the will.
Yeah, but it was always supposed to.
It was. Then why would you need the spell?
Yeah.
You wouldn't need the
You would
spell.
need
Yeah,
the spell for
you always have. So you always go back to ground zero.
It is. Yeah.
How do you translate this to prayer?
Prayer, you're asking God for something in His will, not trying to change
Yeah,
the will of
this
someone
is all.
else.
But I never said I was trying to
So
change
when
the
you're
will of
praying to
someone
God,
else.
the assumption is God is omnipotent. So when you're praying, you're only asking to execute the will of God, never the will of you, never the will of anybody other than the being of God itself. Witchcraft's the opposite. Witchcraft is asking universe, whatever the hell they are praying. Sometimes it's the idea of this universal constant, which then delivers the thing unto you that you want. Sometimes it's called the law of attraction.
Right.
Sometimes it's called other things. But that's basically what it's doing. I have never been able to rationally figure out how that could be possible without affecting the will of other people.
And then how do you think meditation plays into that? Because Well, I guess we're talking about impacting the will of ourselves or others. This is getting slightly
Well,
confusing.
she was asking for abundance, so that would be the will of.
Or how
are
would
you
that be
asking
the
for
will of
abundance- Are you
others?
asking abundance
Because
for
I
yourself?
don't-
Oh yes, abundance for myself.
Yes.
That could be literally giving me the strength to go another level and do something for myself. Like I never said I was going to affect the will of others. You're putting words in my mouth.
Well, no, I don't see how you would receive abundance, though. What I said specifically was externally, ever externally, unless you were affecting the will of other people. I just don't see how that's possible.
Well, maybe you just
So if you
have a
just
smaller
say,
brain. I don't
if
know.
you just say, well, I light a candle so that I get up and I'm motivated to go to the gym the next day, right? Fine, I guess, but I don't even know why that would require a spell exactly. The idea of spelling is old, right?
I mean, it's a spiritual practice.
Yeah,
Everyone
well,
engages in their own spiritual practices.
Wouldn't it you call more it manifesting then than a spell?
Yeah, what do you manifest?
I mean,
Yeah.
you could
'Cause
call
is
it manifesting. There's multiple words for it.
What's another word for it?
Spelling, spells.
Yeah, so the spell is designed to manifest?
Sure.
Well, then if you're manifesting, then I just don't see how you would manifest X thing, external, dominating external will. I don't understand how that can be done.
Well, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, but no, we can't agree to disagree. Because I actually just need you to agree, or give me an argument for how I'm wrong.
I literally just gave you an argument.
What is the argument?
I told you that I'm not affecting the will of others. I'm affecting my own will.
So
that make sense?
So you only do spells and say specifically that this spell is for personal motivation to do X thing and make it happen.
Personal
only if it comes
abundance.
from you.
Wouldn't that just be self-discipline then?
You can call it whatever you want. I mean, I don't know like why it's such a big deal, to be honest.
Oh,
Well, I only would think it was a big deal if a person ordinarily would not think that it was okay to affect the will against other people's will.
Didn't I just say in that tweet though that like I wouldn't waste my time even trying to affect the will of him or said person, whoever I was
Yeah,
talking
but
about?
that might be a different way that you view that situation than you do magic or witchcraft.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'm untangling the ideas. So no, it's not actually though an argument to say, well, no, I only do it as a manifestation of things which will come from me. Unless you're telling me you only make spells and craft them and pray to whatever the thing is that you're praying to for self-motivation to actualize things from your own personal perspective, which I doubt.
I mean, again, it's meditation. It's just sitting there, focusing my thoughts, pinpointing what I want to work on, manifesting, like you said.
Manifesting. Do you ever manifest stuff you want?
I mean, sure.
Well, how do you manifest stuff you want without affecting external wills?
I don't
then?
care if I'm affecting external
There we
wills.
go. I don't care. That's what I was looking for. I don't give a shit if you have a will, which ordinarily would not be affected by me, that I affect to get the shit I want. But I'm not a psychopath.
What if
Not a
though-
sociopath.
I want what if we were to take this on like a positive note though? Because like when people meditate, oftentimes it's with good intentions to impact others and to impact their will. You know what I mean? So
So
what she's
let
talking about
us-
is different than
I agree.
meditation now.
Yeah,
But,
It's not
hang on, but
meditation,
I want to
though.
engage. I want to engage directly with what you're saying because you're making a good point, right? What if the will I have is positive on somebody else? So let me give you a demonstration of how I think that you wouldn't really believe this. Okay, so if you were to, let's say, do something horrible to your partner from their perspective, but from your perspective, you're only doing this thing as a way to be positive. It's helping them in some way. But from their perspective, it was awful, right? An example of this might be something as simple as, I don't know, slipping their medication into their drink at night so that they were taking their medication, let's say.
I think I'm coming from a more
Yeah, but hang on.
Okay.
Right? To engage with this directly, I would like to know, isn't it also true that if somebody doesn't want their will affected and you affect it, even if your intention is positive, that you would still think that that was kind of fucked up or wrong in some way?
Well, I suppose what I'm maybe because what I'm thinking more is like if you take it from a perspective, if you're looking at from like a spiritual perspective and meditating, like I'm not talking about slipping a pill in anyone's drink to help them out. I'm thinking about
No, I'm just giving you an example of how you
Sure.
can have a positive intention
Right.
But your positive intention, if you are affecting the will of somebody else, right? Even from your perspective, I think you wouldn't think that was okay.
Sure, yeah. Yeah. I'm just thinking more about spiritual practice with meditation and like, but we don't really need to get into a whole like religious spiritual
I mean, that's
thing.
fine. We can move it on from there.
Yeah.
We got more tweets. I love hurting men. Or sorry, you should say it in your own words.
I love hurting men. Heart.
Now, does this extend beyond the findom? Like in a general sense, do you love hurting men?
No, I mean, if I have a partner, I would never want to hurt him.
No, what about you? It's not a partner, just men in general.
I mean, if they're not getting into the kink, then no, I don't sit here and I'm like, I just want to hurt someone today. Like, again, this is kink based.
But didn't you say that you enjoy it? Like you find it funny?
Yeah.
I do find it funny, but they're giving into the kink.
I mean, but the tweet itself doesn't say anything about, like, here's an asterisk disclaimer, this is specifically about a kink. Your tweet lives on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. And I mean, anyone
fact-
that's looking at my account usually is within the community, so they would have an understanding
it's
of
a
that.
public Twitter profile. Anybody could stumble upon your thing. I mean, even in your profile, there's no such asterisk or disclaimer that says, by the way, these are satirical, or this is only within the context of this kink. And even if, I mean, so you're not really disclaiming away that you are talking about just all men in general.
Because I don't have to disclaim. If you want to look at that tweet and get offended, that is on your own volition. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting here being like, who am I going to hurt
You don't think,
today?
I mean, you don't think that that's an offensive thing to?
I mean, it's offensive, but people say offensive shit every day.
What if the roles were reversed? Like what if a guy tweeted,
I mean,
I love to hurt women?
then everyone has the ability to argue against something. If you feel that strongly, say something. And if you don't, whatever.
Well, I'm just looking for a concession that it has absolutely nothing to do with your kink, and this is actually just how you genuinely view men.
This is my kink.
Your kink or it's not your kink, right?
Well, I mean, like,
You're just doing it for money. It has nothing to do with your sex.
I mean, I'm into it in an extent of, like, it's a practice, like it's BDSM, like
Oh, so
if you're in a dom space or
Yeah.
like for some a sub space, like this is what you're into, but it doesn't mean you're into it all day, every day. Like you leave, like they leave sub space where they work in the military or I have plenty of subs that have done, pretty important, like crazy jobs, you know what I mean?
But it's not your kink, it's their kink.
I mean, my kink is financial domination. I'm also into, like the humiliation. Like, I enjoy humiliating men. I think it's fun.
Yeah, so you derive sexual pleasure by saying things on Twitter such as, pull it up.
The last one.
The last one. I love hurting men. You derive sexual pleasure from either saying or doing those things.
I mean, if the situation is like a submissive is like getting off to that, then yeah, I think it's hot.
No, but
like,
you said it's your kink, so you're deriving pleasure simply by virtue of saying that.
yeah, I get pleasure from it. I get pleasure from tweeting like that. I think it's fun. I like it.
So if somebody had a kink, for example, where they do, because like, I don't think you can explain away behavior purely, and here's the pretext or justification of a behavior. It's a kink, it gives me sexual pleasure. There are certain things that can just be deemed objectively wrong. So like hurting animals, would you agree that that's wrong?
Yeah, that's
What if
wrong.
somebody derives sexual pleasure from hurting animals?
Then that's fucked up.
How's this any different than
Because-
you saying you like hurting men?
Because they're men, and a lot of men like hurting women, so.
I'm not sure I totally follow there.
What was hard to follow?
Well, your justification is, well, men do bad things, so I can also do bad things to perhaps even innocent men, because there's bad men out there who do bad things to conceivably innocent women.
These aren't innocent men. They're coming to me for this. You know what I mean? Like,
Hold
I'm
on,
not.
nobody came to you on your Twitter. That's just you putting it out into the ether.
Well, yeah, it's called marketing.
So then you don't actually believe it.
No, she does believe it.
I do believe it.
It's her.
So then
she's-
it's not just marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is marketing. I am marketing myself. Like,
But
I'm
you
putting that out.
believe
into the
So
ether.
here, X person.
Hang on. This was
Wait.
She brought up like the kill shot here. So the logic is, I do believe this. No, I don't. It's marketing. Okay, well then it can't just be marketing if you do believe this.
I said, I didn't say I don't believe it. I just said it's marketing. And
No, but you said that you enjoy it and
Right.
that you
I
like it.
do enjoy
and
it.
that
I
you get
enjoy
pleasure out of it. So
humiliating
it's not
men.
just
It's
marketing.
not just marketing, yeah.
I mean, sure, you could call it not just marketing, but in that sense where I'm tweeting something general like that, that's marketing.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
but you also believe it.
Sure.
That
yeah.
it's not marketing. It's not, well, not just marketing, right? It's
Yeah.
something you believe.
Right, but in
So it's
the-
marketing your set of beliefs.
Yeah, in a context of BDSM, I enjoy humiliating men, yeah.
Not external this context.
I mean, in my everyday life, I'm not gonna go up to a man and be like, you're fucking ugly, like, fuck you, like, for no reason.
Well, I mean, the evidence already exists. You post misandrist comments
True.
on Twitter.
Is this
There-
is this account though specific to that? Or
Yeah, I don't use that account for
it's
anything
not
else.
like a personal account.
No.
You would consider it like a BDSM account.
Yes, yeah, that it's labeled as that.
I mean, that's a really easy way to try to like shield from
That's true.
what we're trying to get at here. But so when it comes to the marketing component, in the example I previously provided, where if somebody was sexually gratified by harming animals, if they just defended it while it's marketing, that still is not a defense to the abuse of animals.
I mean, I don't co-sign the abuse of animals. I love
What about
animals.
the abuse of men?
Sure, I
You're
co-sign
fine.
it.
Okay, well,
Do you eat animals?
Huh?
Do you eat animals?
I do, yeah.
Can't care that much about them.
But you're comparing though, and maybe you're not. Maybe you're just comparing general belief system, but you're comparing like hurting men to hurting animals, whereas like hurting men in the context of sex is like a thing. You know what I mean? But is that not the comparison you're making? You're just making it like that's the personal preference.
no. Actually, he's kind of going with what you're saying here. So Brian's, again, just trying to untangle the ideas.
No, so me too.
So to untangle it, is the idea here that this is just a character? She's just playing a character?
Okay, yeah.
And if you're just playing a character, fine, right? Okay, we can concede. You're playing a character, and that's all you're doing. But it seems every time we lean into, is this just a character? We get, no, these are actually what I believe.
I said it
not
was
just
a
the
kink.
character.
I mean, obviously, you can call it a character if you want. I mean, there are men that I enjoy humiliating, like in person. Like, I was in Vegas about a month or two ago. Some guy tried to photobomb my picture. I said, get the fuck out of my fucking picture, bitch. Like, you know, I thought it was funny, and it was.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that being funny to tell somebody to get the fuck out of your picture shot. Fine, sure. But what we're asking here, is this you or is this a character that you are playing?
I would say it is a character, 85% based on who I am.
Okay. So then I guess the last question, I'm going to try to give you the easiest out possible. So if there was never money exchanged in hands again, right, would you do this for fun?
Well, FinDom is my main kink, so it would depend, but no, I probably wouldn't give out free kink for no money. What's the
Like,
fun in that?
With a partner or something? Like, do you enjoy
I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to be
Partnered with somebody who did
partnered
that.
with someone like that. Yeah, I want to be
So
partnered
then
with
this is
someone
a
that's
character. Then you can admit
confident.
that
That's a
inherently
character.
wrong.
Then that's a character.
Sure, it's wrong. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm
Got the
still
kill
not-
shots on this side of the table tonight.
I'm still not convinced that it's a character, though. I mean, I just think this is just your genuine self.
Demeanor, yeah. I mean, I don't have to convince you. I mean, you can believe what you want to believe about me. There's plenty of people in my life that can attest to my great character. And I'm sure there's people that couldn't.
Okay, next tweet. Let's close the doors, Nick.
Maybe there wouldn't be a loneliness epidemic for men if they all knew their place as inanimate objects devoted to my financial pleasure.
Okay. Why are the girls laughing at this?
Because it's just like a kind of outrageous statement to me.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think that's kind of crazy. Like,
Sure, call it crazy.
do you genuinely believe that's all that men are good for? Is just fight?
I think it's situational.
Yeah.
Like, do you want a husband one day?
Maybe. I haven't really decided on that yet.
Go ahead.
Because honestly, like realistically, if a man were to see that, all the tweets that you post up and you say, this is my job, he's just only gonna use you just to have sex with you. That's it. He will never take you serious. He will never give you children. He'll never give you the home that you want.
I don't want children, so.
You're saying that now. But once you get older, you're gonna start to feel a lot more lonely when you start seeing all your friends, all your families settling down with their kids, with their dogs, their cats, their kids going to their sporting events, they're cheering their kids on. You're gonna feel lonely.
I won't, because I can vicariously live through them, you know, be an aunt, whatever. Like, I don't need to have kids to feel fulfilled.
That's what makes women feel the most fulfilled.
That's not true. Like,
It's
that's
definitely
your
true.
opinion.
Like when women meet up with each other, one of the first, especially if you're married and you have kids, how are the kids doing? I saw Mike at his basketball tournament. He did a great job. And then the guys will talk about whatever the guys want to talk about, but they always talk about kids. Whenever women meet up and they have families, that's what we talk about. Because kids make us feel happy. I want to be a mother one day. I don't ever not want to have children. I want to have a husband. I want to have all those things. That's just what's going to make us feel whole. That's literally the main two things.
Okay, well, I have decided that I don't want children. I don't think it would make me feel whole. I am happy with myself. I'm happy with what I do. And if a man decides to come along, which that's actually not true, there's plenty of women in this industry that are married, that are in happy, healthy relationships. And some of them do have kids. So, I mean, that's not true. There are
The rest of us
different
are
people have-
childless cat ladies.
it's going to be a different perspective for everyone. I mean, I think to say that what you think is just fact, that's what's going to make every woman feel fulfilled. That's just not true. And I mean, two things can be true at once. You can have your belief, I can have mine. You know
Nobody
what I mean?
wants to die alone.
I never said I was going to die alone.
But if you don't have children, you don't have a man, you're gonna die. By definition, you're gonna die alone. You're not gonna have anybody. Your parents
That's
are already gonna
not
be long
true.
gone. I mean, no, but
I don't agree with the
but
children
it is.
part.
Like, cause you, like on your dying bed, you want to see all that you created, the family that you created. You want to see your kids and your grandkids, them all surrounding you when on your last moments. That's what, just like. You just do. You don't want to be sitting there. Just
That's
like,
what
"Damn,
you
nobody
want."
Came for me. Like you don't ever want to have to be in that position.
That's what you want. And I have plenty of great friends. Like, I'm choosing not to be in a relationship. There's plenty of guys that I've been seeing that I've been like, don't really think I see a future with you. And like, that's on my own volition. Like, sure, have there been guys that like things haven't worked out with and it's kind of a whatever, like on their terms? Like, sure. But I'm just saying, I don't feel like I need to be with a man to feel fulfilled. And I know plenty of women that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s that don't have partners or children and they're just fine.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Those types of women are going to keep women like us, the younger women, in that position. They're not happy. They want to see other women unhappy just like them. I guarantee you, what they want is that man and the kids. They weren't able to get it because of their own bad decision making.
What about lesbians? They don't want
Yeah,
men.
but this is a podcast about straight couples. No offense to the gays. I mean, you guys do what you want, but at the end of the day, a man and a woman together, we create population. We create the economy. Two girls doing this, two guys doing this. That
We
doesn't
create
create
the
population.
economy.
It doesn't. This is like for straight people. No offense to gays.
Should I
love
not
the gays,
be on
but
here then?
You're
I think it's like you
bisexual.
can still
with a
create
man.
fulfillment. Just, I feel like that's in a different way.
Can I
Like-
ask if you've ever had a span of time where you haven't been searching for a relationship or wanting something and like genuinely just sat with yourself and figured out what you want?
Yeah, I have. Plenty
Like
of
how
times.
long was that?
Like 6 months to a year, but I'm not seeking out a relationship right now. Again, I'm very happy by myself. I have some men that I talk to here and there, but I don't really place much importance upon them unless they prove to me that they are
So
important.
if you met a guy that was the one, and he said you need to take all that stuff down, you're not doing that anymore, would you stop doing it?
No.
Wait, do you
That's
not,
wild.
you said you don't place much importance on men. I mean, but removing it from the sort of micro level in terms of romantic prospects here, you would at least admit that on a societal level, and I'm not even talking for reproduction, that you very much need men?
I mean, I guess if you want to get like scientific about it, sure, you
Has
need
nothing-
men to reproduce.
No,
No,
I
no,
excluded
no,
reproduction.
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
So,
I mean, I think that men are valuable in the sense that they provide. That's about it.
what if they don't provide
Then they're not valuable
in
to
terms
me.
of money?
They're not valuable to me.
Well, I'm not saying on the micro level.
What do you mean by
He's
that?
saying like large
So-
scale in society.
So you're saying if a guy doesn't provide for me, like
Okay.
money, resources, right? Now they might be providing in some sort of way that you're not aware of.
Okay.
Well, okay, so men are unilaterally responsible for every bit of comfort and security that you're currently ungratefully enjoying.
Then let me be ungrateful. I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I'm pretty firm in my beliefs.
Okay, so, oh man, are we gonna get into like the if all men disappeared thing?
No, we wouldn't last.
So essentially, like everything that allows
We would.
your-
We'd be the first
everything-
thing. Yeah.
everything that allows your life to be comfortable,
Yeah.
men are unilaterally responsible for that.
Yeah.
Everything.
Providing. Yeah.
Well, I think when you say providing, you're talking about like a sort of direct financial compensation to you.
Not really. I mean, like providing, you know, a house to live in, and I don't even mean that in the financial aspect. I think like building it, providing, you know, safe infrastructure, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, I suppose at least you acknowledge that. Let's do the next tweet.
You're not a man. You're a hopeless, pathetic gooner under the spell of dominant brats.
Oh, Brat Summer.
Is this directed at a specific person or just men in general?
That might have been directed towards a specific person.
I mean, I agree with that tweet though. if you hire a dommy mommy, I think you're just a fucking gooner, and yeah, no, I think you're just a gooner at that point.
Next.
The only time I will ever be mean to another woman is if she disrespects me or someone I love. Baseless hate only brings you misfortune.
I
Do
feel
you
like
hate
that goes
men?
for everyone.
Yeah, that goes for.
Kind of, yeah.
You hate men,
I mean,
But you want them to provide for you?
Hold on,
Yeah.
let's let
and
her
you
answer.
rely on men for money, but you hate them.
I don't rely on men for money.
You
I'm a
do.
bartender.
That's literally your actual profession.
No, that is a side gig. I'm a bartender. I provide
What's the
for
male-
myself
What's
with.
the male versus female clientele at the bar?
Honestly, men be drinking.
There's plenty of women that
Yeah,
come
that's
in.
not what I asked though. Is it more men than women?
No, I work. No, I would say it's equal.
Equal?
I work in the restaurant
Well,
industry. A lot of men drink.
I mean, yeah, a lot of men do drink. Yeah.
That was a good call out.
But I do want to dive more into this. You said you hate men, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's again situational. I mean, there's some men that I don't hate. I would say you're in my world with men. You're guilty until proven innocent.
Did something happen? Is that why you have a certain?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
That's
because
what I'm
something must have
curious about
happened.
too.
I mean, I don't. Sure, something probably did happen.
Because a woman, if men in your life have always treated you right or treated you kind, you wouldn't be thinking the way that you're thinking. You wouldn't even have the job that you have.
Do you have any brothers?
I do have a brother. I have an older brother. Yeah.
Do you hate him?
No.
Is his only worth to provide for you?
No, he doesn't provide for me. He's my brother. I love him.
So he has worth outside of providing for you?
Yeah, he's my brother. I
What
love
about
him.
your father? Same thing?
He's my father.
So he has value outside of it? Just every other man except your immediate family, they're not valuable unless they're providing for you?
They're not valuable until they prove to me that they're valuable.
By providing for you?
Sure, it could be providing for me. Yeah.
What are the other ways they can prove it?
No, actually, I think it's just providing. You're
Okay.
right.
Not support.
I mean, I don't really look to men for support. I have plenty of women in my life.
Your job.
Okay,
They're
well,
supporting your. You know, if you need to buy groceries, they're supporting your habits with food and all that. I mean, they're paying for everything. They're supporting everything.
But they're not. I just said that that's supplemental income I make.
Yeah, but you even said a couple minutes ago you wouldn't stop your profession even if a good man came into your life. You need those simp ass men, those weak ass dudes, to pay your rent, to feed you, to clothe you.
Well, you know what's funny is that
them.
I enjoy the community. Like I have friends in the community. I
There's
enjoy
no
the
way.
community.
But you don't respect those men. If
But there's other women in that community that I really respect
But
and
you're
I
not
enjoy.
trying to date those women.
No,
You're not trying to marry
but they're
those
my
women.
friends.
Your friends are, you know, as you get older. No, you're 26. I was gonna say, as you get older, you're gonna drop a lot of your old friends. But
No,
you're stuck.
I have plenty of friends that I've been friends with for like 10 plus
and
years
they're
now.
and they support what you're doing right now.
Yeah,
they don't
they
see
do.
anything wrong with it. They don't.
They
say,
love
"Girl,
it."
Maybe you shouldn't. Those aren't real friends. I'm sorry, girl.
No, they're real
what
friends.
you're doing is not something that you'd actually show to your parents. Hey,
My
hey,
mom-
mom and dad, look at what I'm doing. I made this guy punch himself in the balls.
My mom knows about this stuff.
There's no way you're actually happy with that. I wouldn't be happy with that.
I'm very happy.
No, I've done music videos that I shouldn't have done. That I'm not happy with. I mean, let's be real. We're not all happy with the things and the choices that we've done in our lives.
I mean, sure,
I'm not
we all
happy
make-
that I've stolen from Walmart in the past. You're not happy with what you're doing. You know you're not. There's no way.
I'm pretty
There's
happy.
no way.
Do you ever wake up like just tired of hating men? Like that must be
Yeah.
exhausting.
No, I
Really?
wake up, pretty fulfilled.
I have a question. Do you think that part of why you're single or have like a harder time dating men is because of what you do?
I never said I have a hard time
Well, you said
dating
it
men.
hasn't worked out or like it hasn't been the one that you're looking for.
Yeah, because I haven't
But do
found
you
the
think
one.
it's because the kind of men that you attract?
Yeah.
are-
I mean, sure, I might attract some shitty men, as all of us probably have. But no, I've attracted some really great men. Like, and it just hasn't worked out.
Why?
Time, place, like, timing is everything, you know?
and
And
they're okay with what you do?
yeah,
No, they're not. They would have wifed you if they were okay with it.
I don't want to be wifed. I'm not out here being like, please choose me, pick me. Like, that's not like
It's
what.
not trying to be a pick me though.
It's a natural inclination to
yeah.
want to be.
But that's natural for you. Like, I've always been independent. Like,
No, I mean like biologically speaking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
biologically
think
speaking, I
think
don't want children.
The pick-me's are smart because the pick-me's go pick me, and then the women who are bitter about it are like, yeah, pick them. It's like,
the 40-year-old.
Yeah, it seems like it works out really well for the pick-me's because not only are they the ones who get picked because they're pick-me's, but then the women who are always seething go, yeah, you need to pick them. So it's like it just works out double well for them.
I mean, I'm not seething. I'm pretty, like, content.
Okay.
Next tweet.
Oh yeah.